I want to play this.
Oh God.
News clip because the regulations for pork have been severely lowered.
Hooray!
It's like, we're gonna get pork to your plate faster. Nothing's gonna stop that bacon from your plate.
Thank you. I've been waiting an hour and a half for my pork lo mein, for fuck's sake. Fucking regulations, fucking FDA.
During the holidays, increased stress and a packed schedule can be triggered.
Fucking increased stress from standing in 86 noodles waiting for my crab rangoon and pork. I need that ad, whatever that was. What was that?
Lipitor.
Lipitor Shredstein. My cousin.
Well, that makes sense, actually.
That store's full name, Lipitor.
I'm not supposed to tell anybody. Don't let that get around, all right?
Thor is his stage name.
If you are eating any breakfast meats this morning, you're going to want to put them away for this next story. For the first time in 50 years.
This is Micah. What's her face?
Mika
Brzezinski.
Micah.
From Morning Joe.
From Morning Joe.
The rules surrounding pork inspection are about to change.
Okay, so the pork we have now is
the
fine.
change will make.
She said to put away your breakfast meats, but
right now,
I guess because it'll ruin your appetite.
It's still safe.
This show, by the way, represents the 0.00001% of people in this country who are right wing but hate Donald Trump
and watch MSNBC.
Yes,
it
big market
baffles
there.
me.
Make inspection safer and more efficient. But critics argue this puts more power in the hands of the industry to regulate itself.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah, always works.
If there's anything that it always guarantees good results, it's to let billionaires and corporations make decisions that benefit the people
Police
on their own.
themselves,
Yes. They always
We're tired of all the bureaucracy. These businesses they know what's good.
Well, that makes sense. I'm sold. It's worked so well in the 20s when we had children working in coal mines for 21 hours a day.
Speaking out exclusively with NBC News, saying it could make your food less safe. NBC News correspondent Morgan Radford joins us.
It's a possibility.
Well, they don't want They don't want the lawsuit of saying the definite.
Who's going to sue them?
Large corporations.
But for what? For
defamation, libel?
To say that reducing regulations will make your food less safe?
Yes.
Of course. That's what the regulations do. They make it more safe. If you take the regulations off, it's less safe.
To argue the devil's, I don't agree with this. But they're saying that the regulations they're unnecessary.
But they're full of shit. Do you understand?
Yes, of course.
Do you understand? Yeah. Not you, but do you understand that if you do a alleged news show, you're allowed to criticize the fucking corporation that you're talking about? We're so far removed from real news being on television that
everybody's afraid of another. Remember when Oprah got sued because of the mad cow disease stuff?
No, I didn't know she got sued.
Oh, really? It was a huge thing.
I remember the mad cow.
And she went on the air saying she wasn't going to be eating beef anymore.
I remember that, but I forgot
the beef company, the beef lobby, sued her. It was a huge deal.
But did they win?
I don't remember. I think she might have had to pay some money. I'll look it up.
And also,
it was a
just
big
to be
trial.
clear, they might lose ad money. All those sausage companies and stuff won't.
Right? Yeah, Jimmy John's might be a big sponsor of Morning Joe.
But all right, bear with me here. So, all right, she didn't phrase it that way, but they're still doing a story where she goes, "You got to put down your breakfast meat."
Okay, so hold on. Just to, I get what you're saying. This is how they get around it.
But why cover it at all if you're worried about that?
No. They want to tell you that it's bad. They can't. The reporter, cannot state what would be an opinion that it's bad, but they're just going to show you these regulators who are going to tell you it's bad.
We live in hell world right now.
I agree. This is bullshit.
The news can't even tell you that fucking rancid, expired pork is bad for you. Okay.
This is the biggest change we've seen in the way that our food is inspected in more than 50 years. And it all starts this month. So NBC News, we've spoken to several federal inspectors who were speaking out for the very first time on camera in an NBC exclusive. And they say the pork you eat may not actually be as safe as you think. And this is really all about an inspection.
Wait. She's fired.
They say.
Yeah.
She's not saying it. They're saying it.
Don't kill the messenger.
process.
God
They say
forbid
it's too
the news
fast,
outlet would
it's
say
less
Yeah, exactly.
What a shame.
safe, and it has less federal oversight. And they're not alone, which is why they're speaking out publicly for the very first time.
Toenails, hair, sexual organs, bladders.
All the above.
Did you open up a fetish folder by accident just now?
No, this is a regulator saying all of this stuff.
He just opened up his apartment, and that's what they saw on the ground.
So
toenails, hair, sexual organs. Rob, sweep.
When you say sexual organs, does that mean like the pig's sexual organ?
Yes,
I'm assuming.
I hope so.
Or
oh my
like
God.
the workers are dropping toenails in there and shit.
And sexual organs?
Yes.
They took it on the subway in New York and just random toenail clippers got in there.
They have a Rebbe doing circumcisions.
I'm trying to figure
they
out
toss
how
the foreskin.
lax these regulations have become here.
You gotta do something with all that foreskin meat.
Every day at the pig factory, it's Casual Friday.
They're just hiring lepers that have all these body parts flying off of their bodies every day into the vats.
Essentially in your pork, according to some of America's federal inspectors. Speaking out for the first time in an NBC exclusive.
They've said that this is
For the
an
first, like
NBC
18 times. For the first time.
Like so many, like what is he? Like say it already.
Yeah,
like, we get it.
I've died from pork 7 times already before I got to the fucking point of this.
USDA inspectors
Stupid fucking
Jill
segment.
Maurer and Anthony Vallone are sounding the alarm.
Do you feed your
Anthony
children?
Vallone,
or
wasn't
your
that the
family?
guy at 86 News?
Fucking Anthony! I know that fucking guy!
I only got so much time to eat pork before I can no longer eat pork. Where is my pork dumpling?
I can't even go to fucking Santa Maria anymore. I can't get fucking pork. Fucking, I don't know. I love Trump so much, but I mean, if he's gonna not let me go to this fucking Santa Maria anymore,
Need that brajol.
they get that fucking brajol.
The
No, I don't. I'm so sad. I might have to vote for fucking Pete Buttigieg. God forbid.
Well, now that Kevin Costner is supporting him.
Oh, let's not get off on that tangent right now. I can't handle fucking Pete Buttwipe right now. Get back to, I'd rather talk about expired
I
dead
don't
pork.
From this plant.
You don't eat from the same plant where you work.
Correct.
No.
They say the meat you eat may soon be less safe than you think, thanks to a
meat you
change in
beat
rules
is
for
even
pork
worse.
inspection, now set to roll out nationwide under the Trump administration.
The consumer's being duped that believe that it actually is getting federally inspected when there's no one there to even watch or do anything about anything.
Both inspectors work at a pork plant in the Midwest, one of the first to adopt the pilot program. They say the changes have been dramatic. In traditional plants, as many as 7 federal inspectors check the animals for defects, like contaminants or signs of disease. Under the new
We used to
system,
take a
that number goes
Clorox
down
wipe
to
and
2
wipe
or
the pig's ass, but not anymore. This is no longer federally mandated.
3 more experienced federal inspectors. But now, the plant's own employees will be checking and sorting, with no federal training required, with inspectors verifying their work.
What could go wrong?
That is so sad.
Inspection, schmection. Who cares? Come on, really.
Let's see if they provide the the opposing viewpoint to this. Let's see.
Not enough time to react to situations that arise. You got 2.6 seconds per carcass.
To inspect the
Yeah.
That's a good metal band name. 2.6 seconds per carcass.
Well, there's already carcass.
So? This is like a faster one.
You can't really see very much in that time. So there's a lot of contamination heading out the door.
They say that's because there's
They
no
say. We got to make sure we get every sentence in this segment starts with "they say."
Well, again,
Or some
to
variation of
avoid
it.
any sort of lawsuit.
Amazing to me.
I wonder they have to send these scripts to legal. You know?
yeah.
And
for
the
sure.
Department of Defense and the FDA and everybody else that vets their stupid stories.
federal cap on line speeds, meaning no set limit on how fast the meat can go by.
As long as they feel like they can get away with it, they will.
The USDA declined to do an on-camera interview for this story, but said via email that inspectors have the authority to slow and stop the line to ensure food safety and inspection are achieved.
Oh, okay.
Adding that inspectors will conduct 100% carcass-by-carcass inspection.
Now that carcass by carcass inspection. This is from our last album. That's a good album.
Yeah.
This is now. Oh, are you done with that, or is there more?
There's a few. There's like another minute in this, but
go ahead. Sorry.
While these federal inspectors say that's true, in practice, they say the potential for unsafe food to pass inspection will be much higher, a concern 6 current and former federal inspectors have shared through sworn affidavits to federal regulators and via emails to NBC News.
When you open your package of meat, what you're going to get for a pathogen is going to be a mystery.
What are pathogens?
Those are the things that make you sick, like E. coli and salmonella.
And under this pilot program, those things could potentially enter into our food.
Correct.
I mean, they already
The pilot program is
Yeah.
currently in 5 plants across the country, with plans to expand to 35 plants starting next year. Combined, those 40 plants process more than 90% of America's pork.
Wow.
CDC records show there have been no food illness outbreaks
Jews and
linked to
Muslims
the
right now
pilot
are like,
plant.
yep, we're good.
Told you, assholes.
I have a question, though.
Go ahead, shoot.
So, okay, they're saying that the federal inspectors won't be doing the inspections anymore. It's going to be more the employees. But, like, what made the inspectors so, like honest about the inspections?
You never know. They could be dishonest.
You're right.
Also, but it's just a layer of protection.
It's just. But here's what it is. The difference here is these federal inspectors do not work for this plant. They work for the government.
Mm-hmm.
So they have no loyalty to the plant. They're not afraid they're going to lose their job if they call out some shit. These workers, they could, like, if they keep causing trouble and like stopping the line, obviously the repercussions won't be so transparent, but they could potentially face repercussions. So that's why it needs to be an independent party to inspect the food. It's someone that would see no potential gain or loss from calling it out.
And what Noah said is a valid question. I mean, can federal inspectors be shitty and take bribes and all that? Yes, of course they can. But at least you have this barrier to where, you at least starting with a chance. You're not starting from the point where, if I call out shitty pork, I'm going to lose my fucking job. Like, the inspector has no inherent danger of that when they go in.
But can people be fired for doing their job?
Legally, no, but they can just
happens all the time.
Cut your hours, demote you,
and
Yes,
if
but-
reassign you.
If the government is already on the side of the company, like, what chance do you have as a worker? Right? The government is already changing the law to benefit the company so that they could pump out more shitty pork at a cheaper price and with less inspections involved. So if they're already siding with the corporation, what chance do you have on the line if you notice some fucking hair growing out of a pig's asshole that they're putting in a machine somewhere? You don't. You have no chance. It's just more and more creeping towards corporatism, like ruling everything. So, that's. Are we going to continue with this? I just want to wrap this up on a little
we can wrap it
bow
up.
and say that if you're like listening to this and you're apolitical, you don't give a shit. It's understandable. We do have an audience that skews kind of young. If for no other reason than you just love the shit out of bacon, vote for Bernie Sanders. Get off your ass. Vote him in the primary. If you live in a state where
become a registered Democrat.
Right.
While there's still time.
Right. And there's actually, Sid, there's only, I think, 12 states where that even matters.
Oh, really?
And like New York is one.
Yeah.
You have to be registered as a Democrat. It's very important. But even if you don't want to be a Democrat, even if you just want to go to the open primary and vote for Bernie Sanders in the primary. He's the only guy running that will wax the shit out of Trump's ass. If you leave it to any one of these other fucks, may have a close election. It's probably going to be a loss. Do it now. Save the fucking bacon. Save our bacon. Save our future. You might not give a shit about politics. It's very easy not to give a shit about politics because it fucking sucks.
At the very least, you're making Darren happy.
Yes,
Isn't
you're making me happy, and that's important. And, you might not care about politics, but your boss does. Your fucking landlord does. The people who've put out these shitty, disgusting fucking pork products care about it, and they're using politics to fuck your life up. So you should get into politics, even in the littlest way possible.
Also, like, another thing, the federal guy, the inspector, was saying that he doesn't eat meat from the plants that he works in. how does him being able to oversee the meat make it like You see what I mean? Like
he's saying he doesn't have enough time to inspect the carcasses because they move by so quickly, and the only.
So that's before this. They're like deregulating it, right?
No, they work at a plant where these deregulations have already gone into effect. It was a pilot program, and these deregulations will go into effect next month at like 90% of the pork producers in the country. So he's beta testing it essentially, and he's saying it's not working.
So he's saying that the employees are not doing a good job of.
They just can't keep up with it. Yeah. And they don't have the authority, I'm assuming, to slow down the line. Only the food inspector does, which is what the USDA said, which could be bullshit.
All right, well.
Here's the other thing. It's like we don't even trust the regulators. And it's like the regulators are in on the lie. They're the ones deregulating it. So it's like, who could you fucking trust?
Yeah, exactly.
And as to what he's eating, I'm assuming he goes to like a farmer's market or something. Like
goes to Whole Foods.
Well, even the Whole Foods, I wouldn't even. Right. The Whole Foods is just as in on the con.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like where does that meat come from? It comes from factory.
Right, but.
So I guess everyone.
But
just
like
has
a
to
local farmer's market.
A local farm.
Yeah, right. They're killing the pig, themselves.
Ethically.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll continue.
When you said you're making Darren happy, this is what I thought of. Oh wait, hold on.
Let's move on. It's probably good you can't
people
play
happy. That. Oh, look at me. I'm making people happy. The magical man from Happy Land in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane. Oh, by the way, I was being sarcastic.
That's where the woman in the Chinese restaurant got her bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not just like that, actually.
Now I like her even more that she watches The Simpsons.
But I feel like this is a good way to attack Trump too. Like I feel like a lot of people just support for impeachment is like below 50%.
Well, this is one of the things he's most proud of. One of the things he ran on was every day, or in order to pass a new piece of regulation, we must cancel another piece of regulation. Like,
because regulations kill jobs, Rob.
Like
they're job killing regulations. Don't you like jobs?
There's a static number of regulations that can exist in the world. We cannot add more of them. It's like energy cannot be created or destroyed. So same thing with regulations. Oh, but I mean, he can't. Like the reason he won is because he basically ran as a racist version of Bernie Sanders. Like we're going to fix the economy. Democrats ruined it, which is true. But everything he said was bullshit. Like he came in and made it worse. So. Come in and go, hey, you spent 4 years making your life fucking worse and removing regulations on pork and 150 other things. Like, why aren't we talking about that? Even in this segment you just played, like they talk about all the horrible things about the pork, but they never go like, well, Trump fucking lied and, said he's going to make the country great. And now you're going to wind up at the end of 2020 eating disgusting pork that'll probably kill you. Like, why is that not tied to Trump's
to be fair,
failure.
Right now, they're all like the Democrats are all primarying each other. They're all. I imagine. I hope that once we get to the actual,
if it's Bernie Sanders, it will. They will. Yeah. He will destroy Trump on those fronts. But I feel like,
I feel if it's like Warren,
I feel like if it's
go for that.
Maybe I'll give you that. But like a lot of these people will just go in and go like Russia and Ukraine.
But he's not. Yeah. Well, speaking of Trump, not.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, I have just one other question.
Of course.
Where do you think Trump will get his pork from?
McDonald's, like he always
does. Are you kidding me? Yeah, like he doesn't care about the shit. He'll take it with a little toenail.
He's got an iron gut from years of eating complete trash. He's fine. He's impervious to that shit.
On, like private jets eating KFC with like a.
What?
What about like the rest of his family, like Ivana or whatever her name is?
Ivana.
Melania's labia, very pork-like. Very pork-like.
Oh, leathery.
Not as much as the girls from Epstein Island, but still can't go there anymore.
Is a pork-like labia good or bad?
I don't know. Depends what Trump likes.
Because at first it seemed like you were saying it as an insult, but then if it's not as pork-like as the girls from Epstein Island, which he seems to miss, then maybe then pork-like labia is good.
I meant it in my mind in the bit as he likes it.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's a good question.
I guess he would.
I may need to workshop that joke. Roll it out
We'll
next
do it
week.
in a black box theater, see how it goes for small crowds. Then we'll take it mainstream.
You think he's thinking of like the pork in like ham form, or is it in sausage form?
Sliced Virginia ham, Noah.
Yeah.
Ew.
People are talking about it. Love it. The best cold cut, the best.
Well, Trump was talking this week, and he said some very, 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 very loony things. And I would just like to play these two.
If anybody wants to be a nice,
First of all, like he sounds like he's on his
look.
meds, right? Like at this was a Turning Point USA rally of some sort.
TP, yes, just appropriately named.
So here we go.
Initialed.
Maybe on the low side. So if anybody wants to be a nice conservative talk show host, it's not a bad living, I will say.
He's stroking out.
But I have to say he's a very unique guy, and he's a great man, and he's been a great
He's talking about Rush Limbaugh right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
friend. So thank you to Rush. Thank you.
The band? We're talking about the band. Is
Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee, great guy. Neil Peart,
best drummer alive.
Fantastic. People love him.
And let me begin by wishing you a beautiful look. You remember this? Do you remember?
Whoa, a beautiful look?
A beautiful look.
That was a short circuit.
Oh.
Begin by wishing you a beautiful look. You remember this? Do you remember?
Trump has this innate, idiot savant ability to back out of a verbal stumble and just plow on like he didn't say anything. A beautiful look. Look. All right, listen.
Wait,
and let me begin by wishing you a beautiful look. You remember this? Do you remember?
That's just, you know what that is? That's like high fructose corn syrup jamming his neurotransmitters.
Yeah, I think it's pills. I really think
it's possible.
It sounds like he's slurring like you would when you're a few drinks in.
But also, I mean, this is a guy who we know for a fact, at least the last 35 to 40 years, has eaten nothing but bacon Whoppers.
Yeah, you're right.
And drunk fucking.
How does he not have type 2?
Mellow yellow.
How do we know he doesn't?
He
Yeah.
does.
He's got something, he's already old. He's at an age when people often get senile. And he's just composed of lipids. His whole body is just fat cells. Of course his brain is short-circuiting.
Christmas out of Christmas, you remember? They didn't want to let you say Merry Christmas.
Who?
This is
You
the
go
greatest
around-
hits right here.
They
You'd
again.
see department stores that have everything red,
The
snow,
Jews.
beautiful,
The
ribbons,
Jews.
bows. Everything was there, but they wouldn't say Merry Christmas. They're all saying Merry Christmas again. You remember?
What?
You remember?
Until next week when he has to do a whistle stop tour and needs them to
Yeah.
be against Christmas again.
Who never said Merry? It was
Do you
always Merry
remember?
Christmas, Happy Holidays. It was never just that. And even if it's just happy, who gives a gives a fuck?
They're already saying it. They're still saying it's December 26th. We're recording this show.
I just said Merry Christmas this morning to somebody.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, until,
a fuck?
until New
Oh,
Year's.
hey.
It's all right.
No, not you, Noah. She didn't mean you.
Here's a little more. Changes topic to wind energy. This is where it
Wind
gets good.
energy, Merry Christmas, same thing, same deal.
We'll have
Yeah, say these
an
fucking
economy
dipshits.
based on wind.
Can you just
I
pause
never
it? The
understood-
TPUSA is
It's a sham.
It's a sham, but specifically it's 20 to 25 to 30-year-olds.
Well, the
it's a
idea
kids
it's
thing.
young conservatives. It's a
Right.
young conservative group, but you could see
It's
when they
astroturfed.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's 5% young conservatives and 95% 50-year-old dudes.
But just at face value, for the people who are in it for what it's supposed to be, can you imagine being 25 years old and like going to this and enthusiastically like doing the USA chant.
Yes.
Like,
I imagine you're very rich. Your father works in finance.
I mean,
you
what?
Never suffered.
Don't you have anything else to do?
But look, can I stop you right there?
Literally, no.
Even that person. All right, even that person. How do you look at the like pile of folds that is Trump with a fucking raccoon on his head?
I think part of it is like
and go.
ironic.
I need to robustly like cheer for this. I can understand.
I think
their
it's because
mindset.
he was on TV. People worship.
It's like rooting for your team. It's like, how do people root for the Yankees?
But all right, here's my point, though. I can understand the calculus where you go. I don't agree with it, but I understand where you go. I stand to lose $2.5 million in taxes this year if Trump loses, and if he wins, I'm going to have more money. I understand that. It still sucks, but I understand it. I don't understand. Yeah, fucking Trump! Like I can't.
It's owning the libs.
I just can't wrap my fucking
It's
brain
play
around
acting
it.
to make everybody think everything's going great.
But he's such a uncool like.
Send us
dipshit.
some hate mail if you made it this far and you genuinely love Trump. Why? Hate mail at metalinjection.net.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just like people who are living in the middle of nowhere want to feel a sense of community.
Yes.
And they go to these things
This is
and they get energized.
This is like it's some city. This is it's everywhere.
It's the UA where you went to the movies to see Star Wars.
I
You had a
know.
rally there the next day.
Imagine.
I think that's why people get together in weird situations like that. I don't know.
Wind, I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody I know.
He studied with he says this all the time. Everything is better than anybody, more than you would ever believe.
I've studied windmills
more than you've ever
than
seen.
anyone.
More than you know what to do with.
Even
Everything
his
is
speech pattern is gives away that he's just full of shit. Even though you know he's full of shit.
Yeah.
But like I've studied windmills very much. I've very much studied
If
them.
you listen to more than 2 of his speeches, you just recognize he just says the same things. He just plugs in different keywords.
And you know, I we don't have the whole thing, but like, how did windmills even come up? To me, my guess is he just watched Fox News and they did something about windmills.
Yeah, he's been going on about them, but here's his greatest hits on windmills.
It's very expensive. They're made in China and Germany mostly. Very few made here, almost none. But they're manufactured tremendous, if you're into this, tremendous fume.
So, first of all, if you're into this, like, I don't want to bore you, but if you're into this, tremendous fumes
He
from
doesn't
windmills.
mean if you're into fumes.
I guess what he's saying is tremendous fumes from producing the windmills. Is that like,
No,
like,
I think he's saying. I'll try to be the Trump whisperer here. I think he's saying when the windmill operates, it kicks up like
All the
hazardous-
farts from the one side of the windmill are now blown at you if you're on the other
Wait,
side.
all right, let's hear
the crab rangoon fumes go into the air.
Let's hear him elaborate a little.
Tremendous, if you're into this, tremendous fumes,
He never
gases
explains. I've heard this.
are spewing into the atmosphere. You know, we have a world, right?
Do
so
we?
the world is tiny
For about 12 more
compared
years, we have a world.
to the universe. So tremendous amount of fumes.
I wonder what that
and
person in the crowd
everything.
was just
You
screaming
talk-
when he
talk
said we
about-
have a world.
He's like, wait.
No, we
let me
don't.
He's like, let me finish this point. Let me finish this point.
Arrest that guy. Beat him.
Tremendous amount of fumes and everything. You talk about the carbon footprint. Fumes are spewing into the air, right? Spewing. Whether it's in China, Germany, it's going into the air. It's our air, their air, everything.
I gotta tell you,
Our air, their air,
so
everything.
it just warms my heart to hear the guy like he goes carbon footprint, like shit that we know is like established by, and then he goes, but the windmill fumes.
Oh,
now that's something serious. Just back to back. Like,
Hold on.
And then they put them up. And if you own a house within vision of some of these monsters, your house is worth 50% of the price. They're
see,
noisy.
this all goes back to he's
They
got a
kill the
golf
bird.
course that's on the water, and there's windmills, offshore
That's why he
windmills
hates
that
them.
he was like furiously fought against
Because it looked ugly.
Yeah,
I opened a miniature golf course, no windmills on my property. Okay,
shit.
Birds. You want to see a bird graveyard? You just go. Take a look.
Bird
A bird
graveyard?
Those
Go
birds
under
are
a
dropping-
Griffin.
The birds are dropping like flies.
The birds are dropping like flurves.
day.
It's true for
You'll see more birds than you've ever seen ever in your life. You know, in California, they were killing the bald eagle. If you shoot a bald eagle, they want to put you in jail for 10 years. A windmill will kill many bald eagles. It's true. And you know what? After a certain number, they make you turn the windmill off. That's true, by the way. They make you turn it off.
That's true. I always thought that's true, by the way. Like
this is one of the things I'm not lying.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing going on there.
All right, and then this. I know where we're getting Trump fatigue, but this one clip is gonna go in the annals of history as like an all-time Trump greatest hit. And when he's talking, we played a clip, I believe, last week, talking about, like, how he was complaining about the water,
the toilet,
flush 10, 20. You can't.
The old conservative trope.
So he brought
5 years ago.
He brought it back at his campaign rally the night he was being impeached by Congress.
Sinks, showers.
By the way, he is at a rally, and it's like this Battle Creek. It's like a gym.
This is the one where he also said, like, the congressman from that area that just died is looking up at them from hell.
Yes,
which is wild.
In Michigan, completely sold out. Listen to how lost the Trump crowd is during this rant. Listen to how quiet it is. You can hear buzzing because they're like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And these are all his supporters.
Sinks, showers, all of this stuff. I did a lot of it.
So quiet.
No water comes out. You have areas where there's so much water you don't know what to do with it. You turn on the shower, you're not allowed to have any water anymore. I mean, we do a lot of it. Dishwashers. We did the dishwasher, right? You press it. Remember the dishwasher? You'd press it, boom, there'd be like an explosion. 5 minutes later, you open it up, the steam pours out, the dishes. Now you press it 12 times. Women tell me, again,
unbelievable.
You know, the people who use dishwashers.
Yeah.
First of all, it's very clear he's never ever used a dishwasher.
No way.
He's never used any kind of appliance.
When has a dishwasher taken 5 minutes?
I mean,
like,
maybe he could
planet?
afford some kind of like rocket powered dishwasher that takes 5 minutes. He probably puts one dish at a time.
Because it's like many astronauts. Like who's the expert in this field of dishwashers? Oh, women.
The best women who do the dishwashing.
More women than you would ever believe, tell me.
He clearly hasn't taken a shit either if he thinks it takes 12 flushes.
Well, for his shit.
Yeah.
He just shits wherever he wants, and his maid comes after him and scoops the poop.
Like a dog.
Right. Yeah, he's never shat in a toilet. That's
he just...
Like even when he goes into the bathroom, he still shits on the floor.
He shits in the sink.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Come on, Mr.
He's
Trump."
got golden toilets. You can't mess those up with shit. Come on.
Yeah, the floors are cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like Tad Steaks for Trump.
He just seems like the kind of guy that because he has help, he'll just shit wherever.
Minutes later, you open it up, the steam pours out, the dishes. Now you press it 12 times. Women tell me, again, they give you 4 drops of water. And they're in places where there's so much water, they don't know what to do with it.
They don't know what to do with it.
So we just came
if
out
there's
with
one thing plaguing America, it's that we have way too much water right now.
They don't know what to do with.
It's not like there's wildfires and droughts anywhere.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then the best. This is later on.
And we're doing it with a lot of other things, dishwashers, and I won't tell you one of the things because every time I tell you, they do a big number on it.
Call
you know
and
the one I'm
response.
talking about, right? What? Sinks, right? Showers, and what goes with a sink and a shower?
I can't hear you.
Toilets. It's a toilet chant along. When I say sinks, you say toilet. Sinks.
Toilet.
Sinks.
Toilet.
When I say D, you say regulation. D.
Regulation.
10 times, right? 10 times. Wow, Bob, not me, of course, not me.
Not
But
me, Mike.
You.
You.
He
But I
doesn't
never
shit. See,
mentioned-
there you go. He's
He doesn't use toilets.
He's telling the audience he doesn't shit. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Because one time I mentioned all 3. I said sinks, showers, and toilets.
He said
The
it.
headline was Trump with the toilets. That's all they were.
Trump with the toilets.
Again.
Toilets,
what was
toilets.
This? Was this the Jewish press? That yes. Haaretz. Again, we did toilets. This guy won't shut up about the toilets.
Oi with the toilets.
Oy vey's me with the toilets.
Oh, I love it. Well, no.